That's convenient.
That curve came way too fast. I was like, oh, he's gonna get to 4. No, he did not get to 4. That thing quick, man.
Yep.
That thing is quick. That's convenient. All right, everyone, welcome back to Automotive Dynamic. Today we have Chris. Chris, thank you so much for making time for us, man. First and foremost, thank you for your service. Definitely appreciate it. So tell us, man, what do you drive?
This is my 1995 Acura Integra. It's an RS, so I didn't do anything to the sunroof. This is how the car came. I went top to bottom for what I thought this car should look like. It ended up being mostly Type R stuff, but there's some interesting things.
Oh, there's definitely some stuff, especially peeking in the front of the car, non-Type R, but we'll get into that. So Chris, before we even get started into this beautiful build, by the way, you have another one too. I mean, you're a great builder. How did that whole bug start for you? Like, where did you say, let me start, modding these little 4-cylinder bangers?
Yeah, so I went to UTI and I didn't know what kind of cars I liked. And then I saw one on the freeway. Oh. And this thing just left. No sound, no nothing. My windows were up, and it just it just walked away. Okay. And I was like, oh, all right, that's kind of cool, I guess. Shit, I want one.
What was it?
It was a Civic Si. It was the rounded butt style. I don't know what gen those things are.
No way. The EP3, the one that nobody likes.
No, not
one. Oh, even though you knew that was.
I knew that's what it wasn't.
So it was a Civic hatchback 6th gen, probably.
Maybe, yeah. Back 2008, 2009.
Rounded.
Whatever gen that was.
Okay.
It's a newer-ish body style.
But is it sedan?
No, it's a 2-door.
Huh. Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look for a picture.
We'll get there.
But anyways, this is Civic.
Yeah, it was. So I was driving a truck at the time, and gas mileage going from the house to Rancho every day was ridiculous, and I couldn't afford it. So I wanted something that was fuel efficient, something that I could play with, that had a big aftermarket, and I can't leave things alone. It doesn't matter what it is, RC cars, paintball guns. So I started searching, and I was looking at Civics, looking at these, looking at that, and then an Integra just kind of caught my eye. I just liked the way they looked. And then I saw one with the JDM front, and I was like, that's the car. So I bought one, and it was a 94. I still have it. And
that's the red one?
That's the red one.
Okay.
And
that was like fully tracked out.
It got out of hand a little bit.
Yeah.
So this car ended up being what that car was supposed to be, which was just a street beast. That this is what I wanted to do, except it's blue instead of black. I wanted a black car, and I didn't even paint the other one black. But I started buying parts and swapping things out. I bought a block from a buddy of mine. It was sleeved already. It was a Benson sleeve block. I took it to Golden Eagle. I talked to Bob over there. There was an issue with the block. I fixed said issue. He gave me a job. So I worked at Golden Eagle for like 6 months.
You took it to the shop to fix it. Oh, God.
Yeah. So I did that right before I enlisted. The motor got in the car before I went to boot camp. And then, yeah, I went to Japan. I could afford all the stuff that I couldn't afford before. So I'm like, all right, I can do this. If I do this, then I need this, and then I'll do this. And all of a sudden I was making 600-700 horsepower. And I put a cuff in the transmission, and as soon as I did that, I'm like, this isn't a street car anymore. So
you think?
I sent it off to Whitfield to get a cage. That's when I was in Iraq. I put the front end on it. It was a 3-piece front, and it just snowballed out of hand.
Sounds like it.
It did. So everything that came off of that car went onto this one. So while I was deployed, my brother had this car, and he traded it to a buddy of mine. And I knew what he'd done to it. He went through everything. Suspension wise, he put an RS interior back in it that he found. It was untouched. Traded it to him, which I thought was the first time. It wasn't the first time. So it got traded. It got passed around a little while. So I bought it, and I was disappointed. I had to take it back apart. I fixed a bunch of wiring on the inside that got hacked up. They put some weird aftermarket speakers that were disgusting. The clutch was this far off the floor. That was on off. So I took that apart. I put a new clutch pedal assembly in there. I had to replace third because it was grinding because of that, and they were just driving it. So I rebuilt the transmission, put 5-lug on it. It had a B20 in it, and I left it. It was stock. And I drove to North Carolina from here. It was like 2,500 miles.
You took it all the way over there.
Untested.
Well, that was a test.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It went well.
You
I
made
got
it.
like 35 miles to the gallon the whole way. It was amazing.
So you made it then?
I did. And
That's
then while I was over there, I
B20,
started.
yay!
Yeah. I started buying parts, and the drag car sat. I built this. I finished this. I built that.
Now you're originally from California, so the drag car was here the whole time, right? It's just kind of sad, you know, whenever you get a time, and then you just wanted to have a car out in North Carolina to drive, and so you.
So I bought a BMW.
Okay. So why come here and get this one and then drive it over there?
Because I sold the BMW.
You came to your senses.
Yes and no. So
was it a cool BMW or was it like a newer?
So you see what had happened was.
What had happened was.
I bought a 328 before I knew what wasn't available for that car. If it was a 335, it would have been game on, but it wasn't. So there wasn't a large aftermarket for the 328s. So I did what I could, and then that was it. So I went to Iraq, I sold the BMW, and I wanted an M3. I'm like, I'm gonna get an M3.
Nice.
I got it, we're good. And I spent all my money on drag car parts. So I didn't have a down payment for the car, so I needed another car.
That's what had happened.
That's what had happened.
So why stick with this ugly bug-eye front end Integra? Why not go after that one Civic or something else?
Wash your mouth out.
Interview's over. So why did you think like, hey, you know, I can, in your head, and correct me if I'm wrong, you rationalize, I have the other Integra, which is gonna go full on track. I can take some parts out and just put it into another car and make it fun. Makes sense.
Pretty much. And the other car has a JDM front.
Yeah.
So I wanted to leave this one. I like the way this looked. I put a lip on it, and I'm like, that's all right.
Game's on.
Yeah.
So JDM front for you, all the way?
Oh yeah.
Over the bug-eye?
I like it.
All right, cool.
But I already had one, so.
Says the guy. Must be nice. So you picked this one up. Obviously, we knew what the vision was, which is like a streetable car. I think you are still going overboard this one as well.
No.
Oh, this is exactly what you thought?
Oh yeah.
God, you're crazy.
Maybe with some extra things.
But
for the most part, yeah, this was it.
The color, it looks like it's been resprayed.
It has.
Okay. Do you know the color code name?
It was originally red.
Oh.
And then my brother got it and primed the whole outside. When he traded it, they sprayed it with the most disgusting white paint ever.
It's supposed to be a fun morning. I feel like your cholesterol level's going up.
Yeah, you're taking me back
angry,
to time.
man. I mean, if you guys don't know, Chris was already getting, you know, some people around this area pissed because apparently we were driving too slow. We were going 45 miles an hour, but the lady was running late to work.
If I make somebody mad sometime during the day and I'm not upset, it's a good day. Yeah.
But anyways, so it was white. It was white.
It was white.
And so you didn't like it.
I didn't. So I plasti dipped it.
Get out of here.
And it looked glorious. Like it was nice.
Compared to the spray paint.
Oh yeah.
You actually plasti dipped it?
Yeah,
what color did you go with?
White.
Oh, okay.
It looked good. I didn't have the red seats in it at the time, but it would have looked better if it had red seats. But I had the white wheels. It looked like a white Type R.
Nice.
The way it sat.
Okay.
And then it sat outside. And the dew that would sit on the car in North Carolina would like eat through it or do something weird. I don't know what it was. But it started coming apart. It wasn't sheets anymore. It was like little bits and splotches of plasti dip. I even went to dip your car and bought like the care for it. I was spraying this thing down every couple days. I'd come out, I'd wipe it off because it was wet. I was trying to take care of it and it didn't work.
There's like 4 people in North Carolina right now like, yeah, bro, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
My plasti dip car is going through that right now.
It's ridiculous. Okay. And then the pollen turned it green. It had a tint of green to it.
Wow.
It sucked. But it was parked one day in a spot just like this, except I was in the middle of the spot and there was a big truck that was parked next to me that took the turn too soon and ran over this whole spot of my car.
So great, JDM in front end.
No,
oh.
I kept this one. I got the insurance money. There was a guy that said that he used to work for Acura and sprayed cars, and I'm like, all right, well, do it.
So what color is it?
It is World Rally Sport Blue Pearl.
Is it like the silver ones?
It is K7X.
Nice. Okay. What made you go with that color at the end? I mean, white seemed like a cool option. Yellow,
It did, but
black.
I can't keep white clean. Look at the wheels. White, white's
white
not my
is,
color.
Yeah, but okay. So you're not that clean of a person then.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And I don't see a lot of blue Integras around. You get the blacks, you get the yellows because they want to be like the Type Rs. You see some red ones around, but I just didn't want to go Milano.
Okay.
I wanted something that was still an Integra color, but just a little different. I didn't like how some of them looked, and I saw this color, and I was like, that pops everywhere. I want it. So I got it.
Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely looks different. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, front end. So you get it fixed.
Yep.
What is the front end looking like right now? What year is it?
It's the 98 spec. Everything on the car is 98 spec. There's nothing 95 related about it except for the chassis.
Okay.
But
So 98.
updated everything. I want to say my brother already had the 98 front on it. I think I bought a new bumper. I bought the lip. Yeah.
But it's just 98. Any future plans for the front end?
No, it'll stay the way it is. I want to get a new lip. That thing's atrocious.
It looks good.
From afar.
50 and 50?
Yeah.
50 feet away?
Yep.
Going 50 miles an hour? That looks great. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
You guys are always the worst because this is your own car, so you guys are.
I know
definitely very
every
picky.
little annoying thing about this car.
Hood. What kind of hood is it?
Saban.
Mm.
Subin.
Cyber,
However
okay.
you say that.
However you say it.
Yep.
Looks good though.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan. The same guy that I got the car from said he's got two hoods. One was a JDM and one was this one. I bought them both.
I thought you were going to say about this one. No, I bought them both.
Yeah, I bought them both. So
Nice.
the other car's got the carbon hood on it. The blue hood is still in my room at the house, just in case I wanted to switch it back, but it looks all right.
That looks good for now, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
until I get tired of it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see when that is. All right. Beautiful. Any and then the side skirts and the rear lip. You say you actually picked those up in Japan?
Yep. There was a Camp Foster had a junkyard, Typhoon Motors, and there was a car sitting there. It was a DC1 with
Wow.
all of the Type R options on it,
God.
except it was an automatic and the cluster was broke. But it had the carbon cluster in an automatic single cam Integra. I picked up the skirts, the valances, the rear seats. What else did I pick up from over there? I think that was it. The wheel I bought over there, but it was separate. I bought the wheels while I was over there.
Tell us about your suspension pieces. What do you got going on?
So I got Tane Flex coilovers all the way around. The rears are BWR sphericals, the toe and the camber. The fronts are K-Tune, non-spherical, energy suspension throughout the whole thing. BWR rear lower control arms. No subframe brakes. Suspension-wise, that's about it.
Yeah.
Simple.
I don't know about simple, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of work done to it. It made it across the state, so yeah,
Yep.
that's good.
Twice.
Twice? Oh, you drove it back, obviously.
Well, I trailered it back, but that still counts.
Eh.
Because I bought a truck and trailer for the drag car and brought it across.
And then brake setup. What do you have going on?
Wheel woods in the front. I think it's the BP10s. They're basic pads. I was having trouble with the dusting, and they said it would help. It didn't help. The rears are HP Pluses for the pads, stock calipers. I wanted to go with like a wheel wood to match the rear, but they only sell it for the 4 lugs.
Really?
So now I'm stuck.
Okay.
Let me know if it changes
Yeah,
or swaps over, I mean.
okay.
But
Okay. For now, it's good though.
yeah, oh yeah. I had a problem with it squeaking. I didn't know that they sell a shim to go in the back of the pad, and I put it on there
It went away.
and it went away. I was
Interesting.
chasing it. I had Ferodo racing pads. Thought that was the problem. Maybe it was too aggressive of a pad. Called Willwood, and they're like, it's the pad. I'm gonna send you ours. So I bought theirs, put it on, same problem. Same dusting problem. They said it'd be low on dust. It's not low on dust. So they're only clean because I washed it yesterday.
They'll be dirty by the end of today.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And obviously ITR suspension, everything else, right? Knuckle, spindle, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Okay. And so that
it's still the
matches
ITR style in the rear. So it's the opening with the bushing the bottom.
Okay. And the wheels, obviously, ITR.
Yep.
Very beautiful. Were they white to begin with?
Yep.
Okay.
They
And
were.
did you restore them?
Yeah, I tried
Okay.
to. And then I guess from scrubbing them, being in the sun, being stored, it's kind of starting to come off in certain areas. And then they sat for a good while. So in the corners of some of the wheels, there's this little dirt patch that just doesn't go away.
Okay. It's driving me nuts.
It is.
let's see the cockpit, Chris. What are we working on?
Well, it's mostly stock-ish, kind of.
What? Are we staring at the same car right now? Oh, man.
Well, it's got a Cusco bar. It is mounted with some plates that I had made on the underside. I redid the headliner. That's a little spacey. This is
that's cool.
the most red, white, and blue import you'll ever see. I got the red Recaros from my brother. He bought them, and then he went with a Kirky, so I got those. The EDM Type R floor mats.
Ooh.
K-Tune shifter, the lean, the thing is freaking amazing. It like puts it in your lap. It's awesome. AM gauges, the UKDM ITR cluster. All the carbon parts that need to be there are there.
Wow.
Rear seats all there. I don't know how many times I've had this interior out of the car. But every time I put it back together with the appropriate clips and screws and stuff, there really isn't a lot of rattling unless I hit a good sized bump.
That's a good feeling.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's got Hertz speakers all the way around, components in the front, powered by an audio control 4-channel. There's 2 Hertz Milli Pros in the trunk. Made a little box.
So you're definitely into the jams then. You want to have your good music? Well, okay.
You got to turn it up over the sound of the car sometimes, and I wanted it to still sound good when I did that.
Well, once they see what you have under this hood, I don't think they would even care about the music, but that's good. Any future plans for the interior? Please tell me you're done, because this is perfect, man. This is perfect.
Nothing that I can think of.
What does that mean? That as soon as you see something, you're gonna go balls out on it?
That's usually how it goes. Like, I don't think I need something until I see it, and then I need it.
Okay. For now.
And then all of a sudden you got an Integra like this.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah,
I like the
for
interior
now.
on it.
For now, it's done.
I like the fact that it's full interior.
Yep.
Keep it like that. Power. Let's see what we got going on.
Or the lack of.
You got a big ass intercooler in the front.
It's not that big.
Or is it a radiator? What is it?
Yeah, just a little
radiator. Or is it oil
radiator.
cooler? It's a big oil cooler, right? It's not that big. Oy. Okay, well, I think
It's simple. Nothing too crazy.
So this is the way you bought it, right? Primer white, and it had this, and then the horrible subwoofer? No. You're like,
Almost.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is absolutely beautiful. It just belongs there. What in the world are we staring at, Chris?
Just a simple Bseries. It's a C5 block. Everything's kind of done to it. I don't think anything's stock except for the crank. Alanis ported head. I did the port job from the throttle body all the way through the turbo. So I did port the turbo manifold and everything to match. I ported the turbine housing.
Wow.
I ported the compressor housing. Everything from throttle body through the motor.
Wow, that's cool.
I left the ITR manifold. It made the power that I needed to without changing it, so I left it. FIC 1650s has a Walbro 450 in the tank. Stock lines up to the firewall, and then it goes to a -6 feed, -6 return. Fuel lab regulator running 45 base pressure. It's sleeved, pistons, rods, all the supporting things. It's got Webb's stage 3 cams. Yeah, just some little guys.
Did you say basic?
Yeah,
I think that's how you started, right?
Yeah. When you get down to like the nitty gritty, it's nothing crazy. Like, I didn't go and fabricate some awesome thing. Turbo elements, bottom mount, T3. It's a GT35 technically. It's done by Force Performance, so it's an HTA 82 billet wheel. It has an air filter, full exhaust, 2 resonators. I recirculated the wastegate, and it still made 574 at 23 pounds. So if you think full exhaust and an air filter is going to hurt you, then
think again. Well, I mean, you also did pour a whole bunch of stuff, and you sleeve a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, that also has to do a lot with it, you know, the quality of the building of the actual engine. So
the other motor, it had tuner 2 cams. It was 81.5 mil, so a stock sized ish bore, and it made 450 on 14 pounds.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
So it's not the cam, it's not the piston, it's not anything. It's putting the right parts in the right place and having kind of everything work together. You don't want to do too much in certain areas. It's a 70 mil throttle body. Okay. I had a 70 mil on the drag car and it made 775. So
okay.
Everybody thinks you need something massive, but if it's a street car, you're gonna hurt your low end. Yeah, you're gonna make some power up top, you might make a little bit, but this thing, the torque curve's flat. Like it gets up there and it stays to redline the whole way. There's no dip, there's no nothing. There's no boost creep. It is pretty much a 90 degree off the wastegate and it's recirculated and I have 0 boost creep.
Wow. That's awesome. That speaks loud about the way you build things. So that's pretty crazy.
Turbo Smart 44 mil with a Turbo Smart blow off valve. It looks crazy, but when you get down into like the nitty gritty of it, it's all the same stuff that everybody would get. 4-port boost solenoid. Bought a Speed Factory intercooler that I went crazy with and did a ram horn little setup with the intercooler piping, so the filter sits down yonder. And then on the other side, there really isn't anything. So I could have gone around the core support, but I wanted to stay away from these. So
I want to maintain those lights.
It looks like a little ram horn thing. You can put a picture up so everybody gets a visual of what's going on behind it.
Wow.
The catch can was the first thing I ever welded with aluminum. So.
Ooh, so you did this yourself?
I did.
Wow.
All the fabrication. The first motor that went in, I built. This one is done by Ken's Race Engines. So for all your engine building needs, Ken's Race Engines take care of you. The transmission I built myself.
What transmission is it?
It's a GSR gear set 1 through 5. It is a 4.2 LS final. And I think I got a M Factory diff in there. Synchrotech, carbon synchros, all brand new bearings. The thing's
built to last.
Oh man.
Built to last.
It's awesome.
Wow.
I had a little heat issue, so that intercooler blocks just about everything, so I made like a little heat shield to it, try and keep the heat away. Turbo's water cooled.
Okay.
So I think I did it the right way. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hunting some things down, so now I think I just need to live with it. The only time it really creeps up is if it's over 100 degrees and I'm on the freeway. If I'm cruising through traffic, 0 issues. So the fan works. I had to get a spowl, 13 inch is what I put on there. I made the shroud for it, so it's all where it needs to be. Me and my buddy Matt welded up the intercooler piping. I did this mess that's off the turbo. So,
wow. Very clean weld. Very clean weld.
Ish. I need practice.
Well, this is good. This is really good, actually.
And then I went crazy with the pie cut, so the pie cut's everywhere.
But it gives a nice clean look. I mean, the car looks extremely clean, and honestly, it's crazy. Like, it has so much space, yet it's a boosted car. How? You know what I mean? And then it tucks very nicely. Obviously, half radiator, and then the intercooler. Just...
I don't scrape on anything. Granted, I'm not as low as some people that I've seen. I still got a little gap in the tire, but I drive this thing every day. I drive it to and from work. I drive it to the house on the weekends. I might put 350 miles in this thing every week.
Wow. Reliability.
Awesome. I don't have any problems.
It's a Honda and Acura.
Yep. All OEM seals. No leaks.
Love it.
I tuned the car myself. I rented the dyno from Frank at
you tuned it yourself?
Yeah.
That says the guy just normal. Yeah, I tuned the car myself. What? Like, the tuning part is, very, very important. I'm just gonna take it on myself.
Yeah. So Frank, he shouted at me, make sure I wasn't gonna screw anything up too much. But I was street tuning this thing from day one. I got it tuned at. Dang, where did I get it tuned first? I think Theo tuned it, and then I went to KV, and he did the ethanol tune, and I did all the drivability in between. So I was familiar with Honda. It's on S300. So stock ECU. I am having an issue with that thing though. I'm running closed loop and it likes to kick itself out of closed loop. It won't onboard data log and I can't get it to connect to my computer with Bluetooth. So I think something is wrong. I don't know if it's the board, the ECU, who knows? But I'll have to get in touch with Honda.
Wow. Well, other than that, I mean, this is an amazing build, dude. Holy shit. I hate to ask this question because everybody always, tells me like, how can you ask that question? But is there any future plans for this? Please say no.
I can't say no.
All-wheel drive?
No.
Okay.
If I can find a way to keep full exhaust with all-wheel drive, I'd probably do it. But Yeah, I like it being a little street car.
It's quiet until you punch it. Which,
Yeah.
speaking of that, exhaust system, what do you have?
It's a full 3-inch turbo back.
You need that power to be released, yeah.
You gotta let it breathe. It has a vibrant, ultra quiet resonator in the front, a bottle resonator where the stock resonator usually is, and it's an Apexy World Sport muffler.
Exhaust, nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This is absolutely beautiful, man.
Appreciate
And
it.
this is what you did to a street car. You know, can't wait for the drag car.
Yeah, me neither.
Chris, this is a beast of a car, man. I know you're gonna be, you know, taking some responsibilities for work, and so this car's gonna sit for a little bit, but enjoy it as much as you can right now.
Yeah, for the next hour.
And yeah, it's literally like, it's crazy. Thank you so much, honestly, for reaching out and making time for us, man.
Yeah, I think you were the one that reached out.
Yeah, a long time ago, but then you reached back.
Abel hit me up, or told you about me, and here we are.
And here we are. Thank you, Abel. Speaking of that, any shout outs?
Yeah, Bob at Golden Eagle for helping me out with the job.
Give me a job.
Yeah.
Fix the issue.
If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't know who I know and be able to do what I do just because of that. Ken's Race Engines hooking me up with the motor. Well, anytime I got a problem, I kind of dump it on his lap, and then he has to hear me for the next couple of months. Where's my motor at? Where's my motor at? I want to drive this thing.
Nice.
My buddy Dennis for staying up late nights. Same with Matt, helped me out with welding. Abel for hooking me up. Yeah, brother, wife. They're all just kind of putting up with me at this point.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Civic, you know, rolled by your big truck that one time many years back, because now, dude, this is amazing. Like, this is exactly what I mean. There's so many builds out there that we are not aware of, and enthusiasts like yourselves. And so on top of that, professionals, you know, keeping us safe in this country. So it's like, it's so cool to see that you're a professional, and yeah, you have a hobby. You're a human being. You know, you got things going on, and you're out here. And so we wish you could be out here more, but you know, due to the, you know, responsibility that you have as a military individual, which we thank you so much for it, and those words cannot be, you know, said enough. Sadly, you're not able to do it right now, but hopefully you can come back and cruise around a little bit more here in Cali. But dude, thank you so much, honestly. Thank you for your service.
Leaving just means that I can save up money and then come back with something even better.
Oh, I'm sure your wife loves to hear that.
She already gave me the green light, so I'm not worried about that part.
I'm sure your wife is like, oh, he's getting deployed again. Damn it! Something new for the car. Don't be too sad, Chris. No, man. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the energy, and man, I can't wait. Hopefully you come back soon, and that way you can be cruising with the rest of us, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. All right, you can close the hood. We'll finish it up with shout outs. That's hilarious. It's not that.
Yeah. And I retrofitted the headlights too.
What do you mean you retrofitted it?
So I took the stock projectors out and I put
I didn't
Morimoto
even notice.
FXRs.
Oh, I didn't even notice. You're right.
Stock looking. But it's running a Philips D2S bulb for the headlight, so it's like an OEM bulb, OEM color. Denso ballast, and I potted and made them waterproof. They're sitting where the crash bar bolts to, and they fire up. They've been on there for 3 years. 0 problems, no flicker.
What?
The paint's 4 years old. Everything on this car is old, except for the motor.
That's how you know you did it right. Somebody doesn't notice.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nobody looks either.
Well, I mean, because it doesn't look out of place.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you retrofit some, it sticks out, you know, and you look at it like, oh, okay, they retrofitted it. But this, I didn't notice at all.